Welcome to another episode of Simmer Clips. Today's question is inspired by our Query GA4 data in Google BigQuery course. And don't forget to check the video notes for more information about this course and all our other courses. And here's the question for today. How do I access the individual timestamp of a GA4 event? Now this is one of the more unfortunate features or bugs in GA4, depending on how you look at it. GA4 collects events in batches, and the timestamp of each individual event is related to the timestamp of the batch. So if that batch contains, for example, 5 different events, they will all share the timestamp, which is very problematic when you want to do raw data analysis because you don't know what the relative timestamps of each of these events is or what their relative sequence is. You don't know in what order they happened. So we're going to take a look at how to solve this problem. Unfortunately, it's not possible to solve it using BigQuery alone. You need to make some modifications to your client-side collection as well.
One of the annoying features about the Google Analytics 4 BigQuery export at the time of recording is that events are collected to Google Analytics 4 in batches of 5 seconds each. So if an event is collected, then GA4 waits 5 seconds for additional events before collecting the event to the servers. But the timestamp associated with each event is the timestamp of the batch itself. So we never know the individual timestamps of events, we only know the timestamp of the batch. And if that batch had more than one event, it leads to a misunderstanding of what actually happened within the batch. There's no way to know the sequence of events or their actual timestamps. So in this case, we have a simple query where we look for a user, event timestamps, and event name, and we're looking for a specific timestamp because I wanted to zoom in on the problem. In this case, we have 4 events that occurred in a single batch. So these all 4 events have the same timestamp. And there's really no way to fix this with default columns because the data is missing from the GA4 ingestion already. The client-side library doesn't pass an individual timestamp for each event. So what you can do is you can add a custom event parameter to all your hits with the current timestamp. You might not want to create a custom dimension out of it in GA4 to avoid cardinality issues, but as long as you create the event parameter, it will be included in the BigQuery export. So I'm going to add that to the query now. So I have this event parameter called custom timestamp, which includes a millisecond timestamp for each event. So let's see what happens when I load this table. So now you can see that each event has their own timestamp associated, and it's always a bit different for each. So, for example, the first 2 events happened within the same second, but there was some 100 millisecond difference between the 2, whereas the other 2 events happened a bit later, but all happened within that 5-second window and all were included in this batch. You can add some timestamp commands to make this a bit more legible. So let's first add the timestamp microseconds to parse the event timestamp. And then let's add timestamp milliseconds to parse the custom timestamp. And now when we run the query, you can see how the data is a bit more easier to read. So now you can see that these events happened very close to each other, but there was a distinct difference between them. And now if you want to order them in sequence, you just have to do an order by. So now when we run the query, our events are ordered in the order that they happened. So in this case, page view happened first, then view item, then view promotion, and then add to cart. Now, one major problem with this approach is that custom event parameters will be missing from the automatically collected events like session start, first visit, user engagement, view search results, and so on. So there's just no way to get an accurate granular timestamp for GA4 events until Google Analytics 4 is fixed to include those in the data ingestion time already. But with a custom event parameter, you can certainly add some relief to this pretty significant data quality issue.